You never knew. You have tiny skin mites that come out at night and do the thing on your face. A 10-second kiss on the lips can pass on 80 million bacteria, some unknown to scientists. Good thing you don't have to worry about that. Certain kinds of tumor called teratoma can cause your body to grow teeth and hair around it. When Eskimo babies have colds, their mother sucks the snot out of their nose with their mouth. Yummy. People who stay up at night are more likely to become psychopaths compared to those who sleep early. So please go to sleep now.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here to the channel, you guys don't know what we do, let me break it down for you guys, man. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG Reels, Facebook, anything weird, usual, and unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank all my supporters, man. Come back to the channel each and every single day, watching the videos entirely, man. Comment it down below, even if it's just to say hi, guys. Helps us in the algorithm, man, and most importantly, hitting that thumbs up button on each and every single video I drop. I always appreciate the support. Found this video for you guys today, man. Let's do what we do best, man. Say it with me, y'all. Let's seek the truth.
Imagine your own mother selling you to a random man for $15,000 and then you end up dead 6 weeks later. Well, that's what happened to this young girl. Rukia Hadari was only 21 years old when her throat was slit by her new husband after she refused to clean and cook for him. Her mother ended up going to prison for a short amount of time because she was the one that forced them to get married. But she still says that she did nothing wrong, and if she knew that her husband was going to kill her, then she would have never forced the marriage. And this wasn't the first time that Rukia was forced into marriage. When she was 15, she was also married off to a man, and they got a divorce 2 years later. What's so sad is that this young woman just wanted to live a normal life. She wanted to go to school, get her degree, and become a nurse. But her mother had other plans. If you guys want to learn all the details about the story, make sure to head over to my YouTube channel. I uploaded the full story there.
It's just a sad case, man.
You don't have to draw too close to the sun, my boy. Here are some signs an antler warrior is about to put you under, and may God help you if you ever need any of this. This right here is where you been should have hit the double dash. If a moose shows you the whites of his eye, actually, if you could see the whites of his eyes, you're entirely too close to death. But yeah, anytime a moose shows you the whites of his eyes, he's telling you to fall back, or the next white you finna see is a cul-de-sac in the clouds. It's a lot like the whale eye things dogs do before they snap. Either way, you see this, you adjust accordingly. It's probably common knowledge, but if a moose dips his head and shows you his antlers, he's basically telling you, yo, I got it on me, you better have it in you if you don't give folk. I'm not saying pause, because pausing in this situation could actually get you smoked twice like 2 packs. Now that's no diddy. If a moose is ever eating and suddenly stops and stares in your direction, yeah, you got his attention. Please give it back. Also, you don't want to be like this guy and get loud with a moose, especially a bull. This ain't a bear, remember. With predators, you gotta convince them you're worth the effort, but with a grass-fueled war machine, getting loud is giving them a reason to kick your knees in. And I was gonna say don't press a mother moose in her cap, but honestly, the earth is crowded. If you want to naturally select yourself as tribute to Darwin, that's a way to do it. Just know mama moose might play hopscotch on your spine. If a moose stares at you and urinates, you're in a lot of trouble. No, seriously, you're gonna be a hashtag. If a moose smacks his lips at you, if a moose throws his head back like a horse, if a moose breathes, matter of fact, if a moose mooses, don't question, don't ask it, leave on your feet or leave in a casket. Nah, but for real, if the ears are pinned back, that's like the universal red flag of finding out. Oh, and last thing, if a moose stares at you and there's a body of water between y'all and you think you're safe, survey says the Messiah laughs at your assumptions, the more you know.
Whatever you see.
Damn, man, don't mess with mooses, bro. They have Black Air Force energy, man, in the animal kingdom.
First reveals who you are. Up first is this picture. If you saw the trees and the reflection of them in the pond, it means you constantly overthink your life and stress about your future. But you're also very motivated and want to be successful. But if you saw the woman walking out of the pond first, it means that you sometimes feel lonely and trapped in your own life. But you're also a very thoughtful person and tend to put people above yourself. Next up is this picture. If you saw the woman releasing the balloons, this means you know a lot of people, but only a couple are considered friends. This makes you feel extremely lonely and never want to do anything. But if you saw the blue sky in the clouds first, it means that sky blue is one of your favorite colors. And no matter how hard life gets, you always find a way to come out on top.
This is the scary story about Bath. Elizabeth was sitting at her desk in her room. She was finishing off her homework when she suddenly got a text off a number she didn't recognise. The text message said, "Take a bath and go to bed, it's a school night, Mom." Elizabeth thought her mom's phone died and used someone else's phone to text her. She already planned on taking a bath. So she got undressed and grabbed a towel and walked into the bathroom. But then she stopped. She was surprised that the bath was already filled. I guess my mom filled it in advance, she said. She then shrugged her shoulders and got in. When she got in the bathtub, she became aware of a burning sensation all over her body, which progressively got worse and worse the longer she stayed in the bath, to the point where she started crying. Then she got out. Like and follow for part 2.
Beware about the bath. Chicken, okay. It's like they de-evolutionized, bro. What the hell? Ooh, imagine seeing a snake that big. They call it Titanoboa, right? That's added. You can spot them easy now, man. I just feel like we're at expert level.
Horror movie villains based on real people.
Hey, man. We've learned, I'm about to say, well, especially me, I've learned, man, that these stories and stuff that we've been watching has always based on a true story. It doesn't matter if it's animated or live action. There's a true story out there somewhere where it truly originates from, man. So keep that in mind when you're watching these movies and shows.
Terrifying signs that you won't believe actually exist. Part 3. Sharks sighted today. Enter water at own risk. Dangerous sinkhole, unstable ground. If you're reading this, you are too close. Leave this area immediately. Stop. Prevent your death. Go no further. There's nothing in this cave worth dying for. Do not go beyond this point. Warning. If warning sign sounds, immediately leave area. Go uphill 200 steps. Danger. People have been seriously hurt or killed in this area. Extreme caution should be observed at all times. Watch for snakes. They're watching you. Dismount now. Do not ride over the next rock. 200-foot cliff. Riders have died here. Riders just like you.
Those signs are pretty self-explanatory. Stay away.
However bad you thought the damage was from Hurricane Helene, it's probably worse. At least 64 people have tragically passed away, thousands have been left homeless, about 3.5 million have been left without power, with people in Georgia only expected to get it back on the 5th of October. Oh, and insurance companies are cooked, because the Financial Times report that property damage alone is up to 26 billion. Eerie, end of days looking footage shows boats lining the streets while cars line the beaches. Bridges have collapsed, docks were destroyed, dams were at their breaking point, there were massive landslides, Stone Cold Steve Austin couldn't even drink his beer. And in Asheville, North Carolina, experts called it a 1-in-1,000-year event. Their French Broad River hasn't been this full since 1916, over 100 years ago. Oh, and it's not just the water you have to worry about, because the batteries in electric vehicles being submerged in salt water are releasing hydrogen gas and heat, which is resulting in fires. Helene is now turned into a post-tropical cyclone and is expected to continue to cause intense flooding through to Sunday.
This is why you shouldn't explore abandoned places. An urban exploration YouTube channel by the name Urbix Hill went to explore the 13-year-old abandoned Robert Fulton School in Cleveland, Ohio. Immediately as he enters the decaying school, he doesn't notice, but what looks like a person can be seen watching him from the end of the hallway. But knowing someone could be stalking him, he continues exploring. But it wasn't until Urbix Hill goes up to the 3rd floor and finds a 40-down room that he would come face to face with the stalker. Somebody's in there.
What the fuck? He's chasing him down.
Somebody's been living here.
I'm out.
Don't ever try try this.
Hit the
To
jets.
summon a guardian angel who will grant your deepest wishes, first draw this symbol in your hand. Now draw a line and a loop around your wrist like handcuffs. Now make your hand into a fist and dip it in a bowl of water. Now take out your hand and place it over your eyes. Now move your hand and open your eyes, and your guardian angel will appear before you to grant you any wish. But be careful, as some can't handle what they see when they open their eyes. Are you brave enough to try this? Then heart this video and follow my account.
I never tried those freaking minigame seekers because I don't want that type of energy in my life nowhere near me, so no, I will not be playing those minigames. I don't need that around me at all.
This teenager killed his mom over a bad grade. This is 15-year-old Gregory Ramos. And on November 2nd, 2018, Gregory Ramos got into a fight with his mother, Gail Clevenger. The fight started over his bad school grades, which resulted in him strangling his own mother to death. Gregory then proceeded to call two of his friends to help him bury her body and stage a robbery at his house. Gregory buried her body under a church fire pit and was sentenced to 45 years in prison. Now, what I'm about to show you is Gregory explaining exactly how he committed the murder, and it's absolutely disturbing, because keep in mind, this was his own mother.
Whatever. Alright, I'll tell you what happened. Alright, so I got home, I got an argument with my mom, she slapped me across the face, she began to hit me, she started beating me, I didn't like it, so I strangled her to death. Alright? I put her in a wheelbarrow, I put her in my car, I took the car, I had a mental breakdown where I almost committed suicide 3 times, I drove around Daytona, I dropped the wheelbarrow in some random ass location, then I drove back to the church, I began to dig a hole. I dig a hole right under the fucking fire pit. I dug a pretty deep hole, pretty deep, deep enough to put a bit about it in, alright? All this time my mom's decomposing body, I dragged it from my car to the fire pit, in which case I tried to cut the wedding ring off her finger because I wanted to pawn it, but I couldn't because I didn't have a nice strong enough to cut bones. Oh well, whatever. Anyways, so I dug that hole, threw her body in there, filled back in, made it look all nice and natural, dumped my clothes, and then I went home.
Yo, what's up?
He was so calm saying that story, chilling.
Probably didn't want to know. Part 21. Scientists claims that the research they have done shows that 1% of society meets the criteria to be a psychopath. That means 1 in every 100 people you meet will be a psychopath. It was said a long time ago that boiled toads would help cure rheumatism, which is arthritis, and that feeding rotted mice to children would help with their bedwetting problems. Have I wet my bed before? Moving on. Oh yeah, this is just a fact to remind you that there is a brain-eating amoeba out there that if you get water through your nose or in your ears, that it could possibly, eat your brain. At an abandoned wildlife park in Australia, there is a fully preserved shark found still in the tank filled with murky waters. Oh my gosh.
Whoa, really? That seems incredible, man. To be preserved that long? That's nature for you.
Disturbing facts you wish you never knew. You have tiny skin mites that come out at night and do the thing on your face. A 10-second kiss on the lips can pass on 80 million bacteria, some unknown to scientists. Good thing you don't have to worry about that. Certain kinds of tumor called teratoma can cause your body to grow teeth and hair around it. When Eskimo babies have colds, their mother sucks the snot out of their nose with their mouth. Yummy. People who stay up at night are more likely to become psychopaths compared to those who sleep early. So please go to sleep now.
Bro, that thing about the Eskimo, they said they suck the snot out of their mouth. People have different cultures, but with their mouth? Ugh. I don't really... My mom would never do that, bro. We don't do that over here. A new fact we learned today.
What's up? These are scary facts about our world that you probably didn't want to know. Part 24. This one's pretty strange, but there is a very rare disease known as dactylolysis spontanea, where a person's toe randomly falls off for no apparent reasons. In fact, doctors can't even explain why this happens. The picture above shows a suit known as a Siberian bear hunting suit, in which people or hunters can go looking for bears, and if the bear tries to attack or claw them, they will be protected by the spikes on their suit, and it will stab the bear. The picture above shows the head of a decapitated nun known as Maria Rosenthal, who was the first ever nun to be possessed. In fact, they kept this head pretty well preserved. There was actually a life-size Jason Voorhees statue found in the bottom of Minnesota Lake, and knowing the year 2020 like we do, I wouldn't be surprised if this statue came to life.
Don't put a Jason statue in the middle of the ocean.
While waiting for an ice cream truck. This is 11-year-old Mikkel Biggs, and she was from Mesa, Arizona. She was described as very bright and considered a gifted student. Mikkel was well educated on the concept of stranger danger and wasn't someone to be easily tricked. On January 2nd of 1999, around 5:30 p.m., Mikkel thought she heard an ice cream truck nearby, so she begged her mom for some money. Mikkel and her younger sister Kimber ran outside holding their 2 quarters. Kimber brought the family dog with them, and Mikkel had jumped onto Kimber's brand new pink and purple bicycle. As they made their way to the corner of the street, they were joined by other children from the neighborhood who also thought they heard the music from the ice cream truck. After a few minutes, some of the kids started to get restless since there was no sign of the ice cream truck. Around 5:50 p.m., Kimber told Mikkel she didn't want to wait any longer. It was getting dark and the temperature was now 60 degrees. Mikkel was determined to get that popsicle, so while her sister went back to the home, she stayed out there. Their mother noticed that Kimber came by herself, so she demanded that she went out there to go get her sister. Kimber grabbed her jacket, and as she was walking towards the corner that they were at, she was gone for maybe 90 seconds. Mikkel was gone. Kimber noticed that her brand new bike was on the ground with the wheel still spinning, so it made it seem that Mikkel had been riding it and just jumped off. She also noticed that Mikkel's 2 quarters were on the ground near the bike. At this point, Kimber was frightened, so she ran back home and told her mom that she could not find Mikkel. Around 6:15, their mother called 911 and reported Mikkel as missing. Police responded almost immediately, and from the start, they realized that they were most likely dealing with an abduction. It appeared that Mikkel was riding her bike back home when she was snatched off of it. Police and volunteers conducted a search around the area until 2 a.m. Unfortunately, they were only able to track her scent around the bicycle, so they came up with the idea that most likely she was abducted in a vehicle. Investigators contacted every ice cream truck in the area to see if they were in Mikkel's neighborhood, and none of them were. Police continued to search the area. They searched garbage cans, dumpsters, sheds, and they could not find Mikkel anywhere. Mikkel's case is still considered active and unsolved. Her parents are still hoping to learn what had happened to her so they can bring her home and give her a proper burial.
Pilot's last words before crash. Flight 302-2019. Pitch up, pitch up.
Pitch up, it's like bring a...
Flight 507-207. Go up. Flight 409-2010. We're finished. God have mercy on us. Flight 447-209. But what's happening? Flight 2605-1979. Oh, Jesus Christ, get it up, Charlie. Flight 177-11987. I'm the problem.
I'm the problem? What did you mean by that? We actually learned through these, watching these videos together with you guys, there's actually a website where they recorded the last, I guess, yeah, like, audios of planes and stuff that
Here are
goes
my
down.
most anticipated horror movies releasing in October. Up first is Terrifier 3, releasing October 11th. It was shown last week at Fantastic Fest, and everybody that I know that has seen the movie said it was absolutely insane. And this movie takes Art the Clown from a normal slasher all the way up to that top peak list of horror movie icons. I was also told that the first 5 minutes absolutely topped the bedroom scene from Terrifier 2, which genuinely has me excited. You then have Smile 2, releasing October 18th. I was a big fan of the first one, didn't really care for the ending, but I think this one could be great because of the fact that it's based on a musical icon who's on tour when all of a sudden this smile curse starts coming around everywhere. She's more or less spreading it to her fans. villains. I think that the premise is really cool. I just hope they do it right. Up next is the Platform 2. If you haven't seen the first Platform, you're definitely missing out. It's more or less about a prison system that moves. Some people start at the top, others start at the bottom, others in the middle. Every single day it changes. And depending on what level you're on, it depends on when you eat. If you're all the way at the top, of course you get first dibs. But if you're at the bottom, there's probably going to be no food left for you. People go from platform to platform, people get unalived all the time, and I think number 2 might even be on the top number 1. And finally, you have Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare, from the same creators that made Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey and Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2. And this movie's based on the dark theory behind Peter Pan, where he is not the good guy. He's more or less unaliving these people before they become adults, to keep them kids forever. Supposedly, Captain Hook is supposed to be the main antagonist, where he's the good guy, which is supposed to be the original story of Peter Pan, at least based on that dark theory. Comment down below what movies you guys are excited for this month, and follow for more.
This is one of the most haunted places in the United Kingdom, Pendle Hill. In the 1600s, a group of women who were living in this area were accused of being witches. And after an extremely unfair trial and being held in a dungeon for months, they were executed. The story of the Pendle witches is infamous, and it actually predates the Salem witch trials. But Pendle Hill is like a paranormal magnet of its own. People have seen everything out here, from demon dogs to shapeshifters, and even aliens and UFOs in the sky. It's rumored that Pendle Hill is one of the most dangerous places to visit after dark due to the high levels of paranormal activity. One specific story from the area that's pretty creepy is that of a headless ghost. Yes, the spirit of a headless woman is seen walking one of these roads at night, and the story goes that she was a local nanny, and multiple children in her care died. So the locals took it upon themselves to take care of the problem and chopped her head off. The story of the Pendle witches is infamous worldwide, and their presence can still be felt today. The full video of our investigation is on my channel now.
Top 5 mysterious videos I found online. I bet you can't make it to the end of the video. The last one is scary.
Bet I can.
Number 5. 3 friends were playing guitar and singing in their room. You know, just having a good time. When something scary appears in the balcony door window. You can see a white figure appear quickly and disappear once the camera pans back. Hey, maybe you just like the music. Want to do a little dance. Get a little boogie. Get it? Boogie, boo. Please don't unfollow me. Before we get to the next one, can you hit that like button for me? If you get 100,000 hearts, I'll do a part 3. Number 4. A man wakes up to hearing strange noises in his house. When he goes to turn on the lights to see what it is, they seem to not be working. Watch what he sees next.
Okay.
Tired of these ghosts messing with electricity when they do not pay bills. Do you know how much an electric bill is right now? Pay up or get out. Okay, check this out. You're alone in the middle of the night, and you're in a hotel when this happens.
That looks like an edit. Yeah, that looks like an edit. Not a good one either.
What's your next move? Let me know down below. Number 3. On the 30th of April, 2022 at 2 a.m., a security camera captured this. Some believe it's a creature dragging a bag, while others believe it's someone walking backwards. A short while after, the security camera catches this. It's the same figure. What do you think this creature is? Number 2. The little girl is in the kitchen alone, and it looks like she's talking to someone. The home security camera captures this.
Someone wrestled it away from her?
So now they're not paying bills and trying to take our food? This is the last straw. Hello, Ghostbusters. A woman and her child is seeing something in the window, but every time she goes to open it, nothing appears to be there. Watch what happens next. Yeah, it got shot in the house, and they didn't even realize. Should I do a part 3?
This 16-year-old was sentenced to 50 years in prison, and you won't believe what he did. In 2022, Noah Nay shot a 5-year-old girl in the neck and shoulder in Oklahoma. This teen, who I swear looks like a 9-year-old, was riding in a stolen car and purposely shot inside a home where the little girl was playing. But again, this was no accident. No one did this for a gang initiation. Luckily, the little girl survived, but had the bullet hit a spot an inch away, she would have definitely died. Noah was arrested, but not long after, he escaped the juvenile detention center by jumping a fence. He was found 4 days later, but when he was put back into the detention center, he repeatedly assaulted staff. Noah was sentenced as an adult, but the judge said that in 2028, his sentence can be reduced if he's proved that he's changed.
Imagine getting stood up for a day and it causes you to become a key part of a murder trial. It was 2012 in Kentucky, and Shayna Hoobers was 21 years old. She had just graduated from the University of Kentucky and was dating 29-year-old Ryan Poston. Ryan was an attorney, and the pair was said to be very toxic. They'd been together for about a year and a half, but were very on and off. On the night of October the 12th, things would end for good. Those close to Ryan knew he wasn't happy. He tried ending things with Shayna multiple times, but she refused to accept this. She would turn up to his house, refuse to leave, and they would end up getting back together.
Toxic.
On the 12th of October, the pair were having food at Ryan's parents' house, and they would end up in another argument. Ryan decided to end things once and for all, and to prove to Shayna that he was over her, he decided to go on a date with another woman the next night. The woman was the stunning Audrey Bolt, who was the current Miss Ohio. Audrey and Ryan had arranged to go to a bar the night after at 9:30 p.m. Audrey was really looking forward to it and was very confused when he never showed up. Meanwhile, Shayna had turned up to Ryan's house again without warning. After another massive argument, she took one of his guns and shot him 6 times. She then decided to call police to confess. Now, while she was being interviewed by police, she was acting incredibly bizarre. She twirled around the room and sang, "I did it, yeah, I killed him." She also sang Amazing Grace. Shayna tried to claim that she acted in self-defense, but she was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 40 years in prison. Audrey had to testify in the murder trial. However, in August 2016, Shayna was actually granted a new trial. This was because it was revealed that one of the original jurors was actually a felon. She was again found guilty though in her retrial and was sentenced to life. The baby-faced...
Man, that's just a sign. If you guys ain't in a toxic relationship, man, just try to end it all, because it can turn into something even worse, man.
Gangster that shot a little girl in the neck has been jailed for 50 years after a court heard that he knows the difference between right and wrong, but has no amenability to treatment. Noah Nay was sentenced as an adult for the 2022 shooting that saw the teen drive a stolen car and fire a gun towards the house in which the little girl was playing, hitting her in the neck and shoulder. It has been reported that his actions were part of the requirements for a gang initiation.
An American couple married for 75 years. They had one wish in common. A wish that shocked everyone. Jeanette, 96, and Alexander, 95. They started dating at the age of 8, were officially married in 1940, and live in San Diego, Calif. They have 5 sons and daughters and 16 grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Some time ago, Alexander suffered an accidental fall that fractured his hip, and he was confined to his bed at home. He used a special bed. It was placed next to his wife Janet's bed. Soon after, Alexander lost interest in life and became weak. On this day, June 29th, Alexander lay in Janet's arms. The daughter informed her mother that her father had died. Janet said sadly, with tears in her eyes, "This is your wish, to pass away in my arms. I love you. Wait for me. Soon we will meet again." Surprisingly, what's on the calendar for June 29th, 75 years ago today? It was the day they were married. The next morning, their daughter found out. Her mother had also passed away peacefully. It turned out that their common wish was to pass away happily together in an embrace. Follow me. Get more true stories every day.
That is like a story that's we can leave without coincidence, man. Like, that was their one true wish, and it happened like just a day after each other, man. They were together that long. That's how they wanted to go out. That's really bizarre.
Here's every character I think that's going to be in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie. If you remember at the end of the movie, Abby ends up asking Mike, hey, when are we going to go back to see my friends? I want to see them. And Mike says, you never know what's going to happen. Now, in my opinion, this movie is going to be based at least 5 to 15 years in the future. Now, hear me out. For following the plans of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 as a game, we have to go into the withered characters because they've been untouched, unmaintenanced, and unloved for so long. We're going to be seeing withered characters in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Maybe not 15 years in the future. I may have dragged it a bit. Maybe 3 to 5 years in the future. And as you guys know, all of the withered characters are a little bit more devious. And why are they more devious? Because these kids have been left alone for so long. They loved Abby, they loved hanging out with her. Yes, they wanted to kill her, but still. Withered Freddy, withered Chica, look at Bonnie, she doesn't have a face. Withered Foxy, Golden Freddy. I also think we're going to be seeing the puppet as well, aka Mike's little brother. So hear me out, I'm going to be the first one to say it. When we get a Five Nights at Freddy's 2, we are going to get withered characters. It's going to be based at least 3 to 5 years in the future. Just look at withered Bonnie. Imagine Abby pulls up, getting ready to see her friends, and all of a sudden sees Bonnie. My other theory is that they are going to be pissed. They've been left alone for way too long and miss their friend. And that is what's going to drive this next movie to be absolutely insane. Like and follow for more.
Yeah, this nightmare is real, and planes are literally flipping over when passengers get up from their seats. A flight attendant for JetBlue had to issue an emergency announcement, making everyone realize their worst nightmares had come true on the plane, with one woman leaving a grim and dark message saying she wasn't sure if she'd ever see her grandkids again. The flight attendant asked all passengers to spread out as their weight was believed to be causing the plane to flip over, telling everyone to move to the middle of the plane.
Very slowly, little by little, move towards the middle of the apron because apparently everything is like it tips out.
With a tech expert saying this was so terrifying, he described it as the plane was about to do a backflip.
It felt like the plane was about to do a backflip.
Which begs the question of how safe are these planes to begin with. Many of the passengers had rushed to the rear of the plane when deplaning, which caused this, but there's still many questions which JetBlue does not have the answers for. While no one was injured, we don't know if this is something that can happen to all planes or if it's rare.
See how this fake thug reacted to a life sentence. In 2015, Jaleel Smith Riley was arrested for his involvement in a 2013 robbery that left Aaron Martin with a bullet in his head and Portia Brooks dead. Smith Riley pled guilty to the crime and was hoping to avoid a life without parole sentence. Prior to being sentenced, he cried and begged for leniency.
Consequences, man. The fake thug, bro.
His grandfather also spoke on his behalf.
He always come by to check on me and his grandmother. He always did. He worked in the church with us all.
When the judge spoke, Riley Smith didn't like what he heard.
Court defendant serve a term of life without parole. As to count 4, the offense of attempted murder.
Check it out.
This heartless thug will die in prison.
Hey man, you have to deal with the consequences. If you wanna be about that life, you gotta know what comes with it.
One of the most disgusting shock videos on the internet explained. I'm explaining this off memory and other people's comments. There is no way I watch this video again because it's that gross. The video is 1 minute long, and as it starts, you hear a piano track over the video and you see 2 girls making out. But at around 10 seconds in, it gets absolutely sickening. One of the girls gets a glass cup and defecates in it, filling it all the way to the top. A jump cut then occurs and it shows the 2 women licking the feces in the cup like it's ice cream. It cuts again and it shows one of the girls rubbing the feces around her mouth, and the video then cuts again, and it shows the 2 girls making out with feces in their mouth and all over their faces. The next scene, one of the girls sticks her fingers down her throat, trying to make herself vomit into the glass as the other girl licks it. The next scene, it shows one of the girls standing up and the other one is on her knees. The one standing up then pukes directly onto the face of the girl on her knees. The final scene shows both girls completely covered in feces as it's even overflowing their mouths. And this is where the video finally concludes. This video is absolutely sickening, and when I tell you not to watch it, don't watch it. I know I say that for all the videos I cover, but this one isn't brutal or gory. It's just plain out disgusting, and you really just don't want to see it. You can watch reactions on YouTube of people watching this for the first time. Joe Rogan even has his reaction video up from years ago.
Hey guys, do you remember Adam Johnson, the hockey player who suffered
the fatal cut to his neck in a hockey game on October the 28th. Well, the player whose skate caused the injury has actually been arrested and charged with manslaughter. This is Matt Petgrave, probably not saying that right, but he is the player whose skate caused the injury to Johnson's neck. And NewsOut today is saying that he has been arrested and charged with the manslaughter of Adam Johnson. Now, initially, I was kind of shocked at this news. All of the footage that I saw, I did not think that it was intentional. But then, when you go back and you watch the replay in slow motion, that kind of changes things. Apparently, the hockey world and all of the hockey fans have been waiting on this to come. I'm going to add a clip in here that shows when the injury occurred during that hockey game, and you'll watch it through in regular time first, and then it will be played in slow motion, and I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are. You can see it happens quickly there, but watch it in slow motion where Petgrave is in the red, he comes across and intentionally kicks that leg up, which slashes Johnson's neck and results in his death.
Here's how all of the missing children from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie passed away and became the animatronics. Well, as you guys know, little backstory, these kids ended up going to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. They all ended up disappearing in, I'm pretty sure, 1984, all because of William Afton. Wanted to run some experiments and see if he was able to combine children's souls with these animatronics. And let's just say he did his damn thing. Up first is Freddy. It is said that Freddy's original character was unalived by hiding, which kind of makes sense because you never really see Freddy doing any wild shit. I mean, you see him, but he's always kind of just like lurking or pretending to be still. Then have Foxy, said to be the soul of one of the kids that was running, hence the reason Foxy is always so fast and always running. We also have to take into the account the kid in the orange, who has Foxy's hook, and literally starts sprinting as soon as Mike gets too close. Then have Chica, who's said to have the embodiment of one of the kids that was screaming. Seems as though you always see Chica when she jump scares people in the games is she's screaming, which kind of makes sense. Then have Bonnie, who's said to be after one of the kids that fought back. He obviously didn't win. That shows why Bonnie's always so brawling. Then you have Golden Freddy, who's said to be the souls of 2 children. Which is supposed to be someone named Cassidy, but in the movie it's Mike's little brother. That's the theory. Like and follow for more.
Oh no.
These theories are crazy.
No.
I had thought that I had seen everything when it came to cults, but you are not prepared for what this cult believes. So HBO just released this documentary about the Love is One cult, which was run by this woman, Amy Carlson, who calls herself Mother God. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but she believed she was controlled by the spirit of Robin Williams, and this like yassified version of Saint Germain. Also, I cover a lot of dark stuff on this page so you should follow along. She also said she could channel and get advice from this like galactic federation of dead celebrities. There's like Mr. Rogers, Carrie Fisher, Steve Irwin, and randomly Donald Trump, who is not dead. But Robin Williams is at the top, and so the cult believes they're getting a lot of advice through Robin Williams, so they'll say things like, so one of the beliefs that this cult has is that one day Robin Williams is going to arrive in a spaceship to take Mother God away so that she can spiritually ascend. He also told her that she can only be 103 pounds to get on the spaceship, which is why she's trying to lose a lot of weight. Eventually, Mother God starts getting sicker and sicker, and also bluer and bluer because of the colloidal silver supplements they won't stop giving her, and everyone thinks, oh my god, Robin Williams must be coming on a spaceship really soon to help Mother ascend. Eventually, she passes away, and guess what? Shockingly, Robin Williams does not descend in an intergalactic spaceship to come collect the 103-pound body of Mother God. And so the cult members just have her body. They don't know what to do with it. They thought Robin Williams was going to come. So they hang out with it for 12 days until the police finally show up. Anyways, this whole thing is a trip. You just gotta watch it to believe it. I'm seeing photos.
Should we check that out, Seekers, man? People who be getting caught up in those groups, man, they be into some weird things. But to say that they thought Robin Williams was going to come down in a spaceship, that's just one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard watching these videos together with you guys. Be careful, man, of those groups.
Show a 13-year-old boy. Police say he murdered his mother, and before that, he's standing over her in a vulnerable position as he's getting ready to stab her to death. Derek Rosa snapped a selfie after the crime, his hands smeared with blood.
No, I'm not her. I just have a little bit of blood on my hand.
I need to know if your mom is breathing.
She's 10 minutes.
Okay, and when did you do that?
Blood all over the floor.
Where is your sister? Your sister's still there?
She's sleeping.
She's sleeping, okay.
Excuse me, miss, what do I do if she wakes up?
If you wake up, just let me know. I need to know. Do you think we can help your mom?
Miss, she said, I took pictures and I told my friends about it. Was that bad?
You told who about it?
My friends.
Who did you send the pictures to?
My friend, I don't know his real name because he is an online friend, so I play with a lot.
Cell phone video shows the moment a teenage boy surrendered with his hands up.
His demeanor, he was very quiet, apologetic, very respectful. Not what you would expect walking into that home and seeing that crime scene.
The 13-year-old, identified as Derek Rosa, is currently in secure detention. When officers arrived to Unit 201 inside the Amelia Oaks apartment complex, they found the victim in her bedroom with multiple wounds, just inches from her newborn baby girl.
Next to her was a crib, and inside of that crib, a 14-day-old baby that fortunately was not injured.
Places that will disappear in your lifetime. Venice, Italy is a beautiful place, but it will disappear in your lifetime. Venice is slowly sinking.
What?
The canals cause many floods, and these floods are causing Venice to tilt east. Experts say that by 2100 the city will be uninhabitable. The Great Wall of China is amazing, but it will soon be gone. 1/3 of the wall has already been destroyed. This is mainly due to natural damage, for example climate change, but people walking on it and local settlements stealing bricks from it has also damaged the wall badly. Experts say that within decades the wall may be gone. San Francisco is an amazing city. It's known for earthquakes, but in 2016 geologists found something scary. They found 2 earthquake fault lines underneath the San Francisco Bay. This could destroy San Francisco, and there's a 75% chance this could happen before 2086. The Great Barrier Reef in Australia is one of the most amazing things in the world, but it won't be around for much longer. It's already decreased more than 50% of its original size, and lots of the vibrant coloured corals are now turning white. Some believe the Great Barrier Reef may disappear by 2030.
Damn, that's just in a couple of years. What the hell? All these places, man, that's about to disappear. I gotta see them before they go, man. The Great Wall, Venice, Italy. Hey, man, I want to travel. What the hell? I'm gonna have to put that on my list.
This is one of the worst true crime cases I ever covered, and this is a massive trigger warning. In 2007, the boy on the right named Gabriel Kuhn, who was 12 years old, was killed by Daniel Petrie, who was 16 and on the left. Daniel Petrie and Gabriel Kuhn became good friends and began playing an online role-playing game called Tibia. At one point of the game, Gabriel asked Daniel for 20,000 virtual cash to clear the stage. Gabriel borrowed money from Daniel to use in the game and then refused to pay him back. Gabriel then blocked Daniel on everything, and this made him furious, and he went to Gabriel's house to pay him a visit. A couple of days before the murder, Daniel called the home phone of Gabriel and his mom answered. She explained that she would be out of town and that her son would be home alone if they wanted to play, completely unaware of the boys falling out. And on August 23rd, 2007, Daniel went to Gabriel's house and knocked on the door. Nobody answered, and Daniel kept knocking, but eventually Gabriel started speaking to Daniel through the door. Daniel told Gabriel to unlock the door and let him in, and if he apologized to him, everything would be fine. Believing this, Gabriel unlocked the door and let Daniel in. And after entering the house, Daniel locked the door behind him. Daniel then brutally assaulted Gabriel. Gabriel tried his best to defend himself, but he failed to do so. Daniel was older, bigger, and stronger. Gabriel was dripping in blood after being brutally beaten by Daniel. Daniel then laughed at the terrified Gabriel and took him to the bedroom, where he then sexually assaulted him. Gabriel cried, but this made Daniel even more cruel. After all of this, Gabriel threatened Daniel, saying he will tell his mother everything that happened, but this only made Daniel more mad. And in a fit of rage, Daniel took a cord from a gaming console and wrapped it around Gabriel's neck and strangled him with it until he went limp. Daniel assumed Gabriel was dead, and believing this, Daniel tried to move and hide the body in the crawl space leading to the bedrooms. However, the body was too heavy, and after realizing this, Daniel searched the house for sharp tools, and eventually he found a kitchen knife and a hacksaw. Daniel then returned to Gabriel's body, and in order to make it lighter, he took the knife and hacksaw and began cutting at the top of Daniel's leg to remove it, and as Daniel cut into Gabriel's leg, he woke up. Gabriel wasn't dead. He let out a blood-curdling scream, but Daniel restrained him, making sure to twist and turn the blade to make it even more painful. Eventually, Daniel dismembered his right leg and moved to his left.
And after severing both of his legs, Gabriel passed away. His autopsy suggested he was still alive throughout the whole ordeal, and he eventually died from shock and blood loss. After Daniel finished the dismemberment, he tried to hide the body again, and he wrapped a cable and wire around Gabriel's body. But the body was still too heavy, and Daniel then fled the house. Gabriel's body was discovered by his brother, and the body was left by the hallway door and the legs in the hacksaw too. Daniel Petrie was admitted to a juvenile center in September 2007 to only 3 years. This is due to Brazil's laws of sentencing minors. And to make you realize how evil Daniel was, when the judge asked him if he had any last words of remorse, Daniel said this: "Gabriel was a coward and a thief. He burns in hell right now where I sent him. And when I die, I will find him in hell and finish my revenge." It's also worth saying that the photos of the crime and Gabriel's body had surfaced on the internet, and nobody knows how they got there. I highly recommend not to look at them due to the graphic nature of them, and they would definitely be the worst crime scene photos you will ever see. It's honestly insane how Daniel is walking free today. May Gabriel rest in peace.
This is the case of 19-year-old Alexi Treviso and how she went to the hospital complaining of back pain, but ended up getting charged with murder. Alexi Treviso was a 19-year-old senior in high school living in Artesia, New Mexico. She was on the varsity cheerleading team, and she was dating her boyfriend Devin for about 2 years. Honestly, Alexi just seemed like a typical teenage girl. Prom was coming up soon, her graduation was around the corner, and she was already thinking about what university she was going to go to in the fall. January 26, 2023, that day was pretty much just like any other day for 19-year-old Alexi. She went to cheerleading practice that day and got home in the afternoon. She spent some time with her family and then she went to bed. However, she was woken up in the middle of the night with severe back pain. This was like not normal back pain. Like Alexi was in so much pain that her mother decided to take her to the hospital. Alexi and her mother Rosa arrived at the Artesia General Hospital in the early morning hours of January 27. Alexi checked in and told the doctors that she had really bad pain in her back, so they wanted to do a test to see if maybe she had a UTI or a kidney infection, since back pain can be a symptom of both of those things. So they're getting ready to do those tests, and then they asked Alexi, "Are you pregnant?" Which is a very common thing to ask. I mean, if you're a girl and you've gone to the doctor before, I feel like they always ask you if you're pregnant. On top of that, experiencing back pain can be a symptom of pregnancy. So the doctor asked Alexi, "Are you pregnant?" And she says no, that she's still a virgin and that she hasn't engaged in any sexual activity. So the doctor's like, okay, perfect. And they send Alexi over to go get a CAT scan done so that they can check for kidney stone. And while she's getting that test done, the doctors decide to still do a pregnancy test just in case, because you never know. So they did a urine test, and when the results came back, they were positive. Alexi was pregnant. Now, of course, pregnancy tests can sometimes be inaccurate, so the doctors wanted to check her blood just to make sure that she was actually pregnant. And while all of this is going on, Alexi tells the doctors that she needs to go to the bathroom. Like, she has to go number 2, and it's coming out, like, right now. So she gets up from the hospital bed, and she literally runs to the bathroom holding her butt because she feels like it's going to come out. She locks herself inside the bathroom, and she's in there for quite some time. Doctors and the staff at the hospital are getting kind of worried because she's been in there for a while, and they know that she's pregnant. So they're thinking maybe she's having some type of miscarriage or something else is happening. They knock on the door, but Alexi refuses to come out. At one point, her mother Rosa also goes over to knock on the door, but Alexi says that she's just having trouble going number 2 and that she'll be out shortly. At this point, Alexi has been in the bathroom for more than like 20 minutes. So the doctors tell her, if you don't open the door right now, we're going to unlock it. Before the doctor can unlock the door, Alexi just opens up and starts walking back to her room. One of the doctors looks inside the bathroom just to see, what happened, and they do see that there was all over the floor. They asked Alexi, what's going on? And she said that she simply got her period. Call over the cleaning lady to come clean up the bathroom, and when she starts to take out the trash, notices that the trash bag feels heavier than usual. So Leela, the housekeeper, goes to look inside the garbage bin, and when she pulls out a bag, she finds a baby. The baby was inside a clear plastic bag at the bottom of the bin. Okay, more in part 2.
Never wake up a sleepwalker.
Do you want me to wake him up?
They're laughing. This ain't funny though.
This girl was freaking out when her sister got out of bed and started sleepwalking.
Stop staring at me like that. Alexis! Mom! Mom!
It's like a spirit takes them over.
She's just standing here staring at me. She can't. Hey. I gotta go.
Yana.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Follow for more.
So are we about to witness and hopefully live through a world-ending geomagnetic storm? And will it be a repeat of the Carrington event? Welcome back to the Hard Pill Show. I'm your host, Pharaoh, and in this video we're going to talk about how this current geomagnetic storm could have bad implications.
Alright.
Now let me start out that this will most likely just be a loss of phone signal and pretty lights in the sky event. But let's get into why this can be something scary. So yesterday, Thursday the 9th, and today, Friday the 10th, there have been many corona mass ejections from the sun. NOAA released a statement and a warning stating that at least 2 X-class, which are the largest solar flares, were observed releasing from 2 massive sunspots in the sun, along with several M-class. Now these are CMEs, or corona mass ejections, and there was another X-class release this morning, Friday the 10th. That CME from this morning is supposed to catch up with the other 5 from yesterday, right as they impact Earth. It's all scary stuff, and what has people up in arms and concerned about this is the last time something like this happened, the Carrington event occurred. The Carrington event was known as the most destructive CME, and it happened on September 1st, 1859. It was so intense that it created such bright auroras in the sky, you know, the northern lights, that some gold miners in the Rockies woke up thinking that it was morning. But the reason why this event was documented and is such a callback point to future destructive potential of the sun is the fact that the potential EMP that was created by the sun during this event fried all the telegraph poles and systems. Now, at that time, that was the means of communication across long distance, and was also really all the electronics that the world really had. So the concern today, in today's world, is if that kind of event occurred again, which is the concern with this current, geostorm, with how heavily our modern world is dependent on electronics for communication, for transportation, for food, for survival, then we would be thrown back thousands of years as a humankind because we depend so heavily on electronics. So, yeah, but most likely we'll just lose phone signal and have pretty lights in the sky. Good times. Friday.
What do you guys think, man? That video, man, just shows us how much we dependent on, man, technology. And if it's just can get taken out like that, we all discombobulated. We're all over the place, man. I'm surprised this geostorm, like these facts, hasn't been on the news or something so people could prepare. Wonder why that is.
8 o'clock Eastern time, it is an important update. The geomagnetic storm has just reached Category 5, a G5 with a K index of 9. It's the strongest geomagnetic storm in 20 years.
Damn.
What you're looking at right here, if I get off out of the way, is the actual auroral oval right now. It's all the way down to the central United States. You can see it right there. And that's almost down, as a matter of fact, as far south as St. Louis and Washington, D.C. I mean, really amazing. Now, it has to be clear, and of course it's getting dark right now, but definitely head away from city lights, look to the north tonight. This could be one of your few chances in your lifetime at these latitudes to be able to see the aurora borealis, but get to dark skies. This map actually confirms what we saw just a moment ago. This is typically what you'd see. Down to the red line is where you'd be able to see an aurora when you have a G5 storm like this, which extends from, around Norfolk, Virginia, westward to Northern California. And you can see it just amazingly how far south it is compared to normal. I mean, if it's just a regular geomagnetic storm, it would be all the way up here in the northern tier of the United States to northern Maine, and it's nowhere like that. So definitely try to get out tonight, look to the north. Yeah, there will be some communication problems and things like that, but let's concentrate on the aurora right now because that's the fun part of these geomagnetic storms. Good luck tonight.
Really?
Solar storm to strike Earth since 2005 is on its way tonight. Because of that, NOAA did issue a geomagnetic storm watch for the planet Earth. This is due to a G4 class solar storm, which is severe on the scale. Now, some of the effects that we might see from this tonight are possible voltage issues to the power grid up north. Disruptions are possible to satellite navigation as well. And auroras could be possible all the way down to the Gulf Coast tonight, especially on the horizon. If you want to have a good shot at seeing this, you are going to have to get out of areas of light pollution and also use a camera as well to see it best on the horizon. Now, if you really want to see it tonight, you're going to have to go north up into places like South Dakota, Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, and especially up into Canada.
Really?
If you guys haven't heard yet, there's signal issues going on. There's a geostorm affecting everybody. It doesn't matter if you're on RTK WAS, Trimble, Egg Leader, Deer. Everything's getting knocked out. A couple of geese here.
Even the geese getting affected.
If you guys have questions, you can call us, but I'm sure everyone's being affected, so I just wanted to let everybody know.
The thing that's getting to me is, man, we haven't been seeing this like on the news and stuff, man. It's like the geomagnetic storms and stuff. Everybody just, yeah, they're focusing on the lights, but they just like kind of ignoring the possibilities of what could happen. That's concerning. These geomagnetic storms. When I looked up, I'm about to say, I looked up in the sky at night and I ain't seen no aurora lights. And that's a rare opportunity. Maybe you guys saw, because we all over the place now. I've been seeing from the comments. So tell me if you guys been affected by this G5 storm. Whoa. Another one?
Hey guys, they are forecasting that we will see some additional geomagnetic activity about midday today, May 12th. So they are forecasting that it'll be somewhere between the G4 to G5 severe status. So be on the lookout, guys.
This geostorm, man. It's affecting it. It's affecting everything, bro. That's why I'm talking about the TikToks, man. I would have never known. But has it been on the news or something, man? I'm glad for our community seekers. It keeps me tapped in.
They had a machine that was used to control the weather. Then somehow the machine got hacked and it started malfunctioning. And it started controlling the weather on its own will. And it started killing people. So they had to destroy the machine because they had got hacked and started malfunctioning, being out of control.
And there's a movie called Geostorm. Is that a sign? Is there any correlation between those two? Any similarities? Hey, man. Nowadays, you never know. That Geostorm, like I said, that was a movie that came out. And we guys been, these videos, you've been seeing how these movies and stuff, they're based off like true events. Sometimes even these fictional movies behind the scenes, man, like every stories, every movie, every piece of media you see, man, it comes from a true story somewhere around the world. What do you guys think? If you guys made it with me to the end, you guys are real ones supporting the channels. I really appreciate that, man. You're a true seeker. So thank you, man. Like I said, guys, if you guys want to stay tapped in with the community with us, man, follow me on my social medias down below. I'm really trying to get my numbers up on there as well. So I greatly appreciate the support, just so we can, stay in contact with each other and we can grow and we can share what we find together. Guys, gonna catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, seekers.